Hey guys, welcome back to a new YouTube clip. This is my third one, and in this one we're gonna speak about the big altcoin season in 2025. You can notice how big it is and you can notice how it looks. Of course, this is out of context. This is actually the XRP chart, which looks still very bullish. But before we start this one on the main topic, the altcoin season, as always, you should start with the Bitcoin chart. If you remember the last clip I made about a week ago, this is actually the part I'm mentioning now. Let's hear it. We should be ready if something like this happens and gives a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll see the 5. You can see also in the past when we have similar structure, which is impulsive. Here we have the 1. We had. It's okay. My English is a bit rusty. I promise my market view is better. 2, 3, 4, 5 extended, and then corrective movements. We will see what the month end is bringing to the table, but I'm guessing this new all-time high maybe invalidates some of the thesis for the bears and catches them off guard here. And if something like this should happen, I guess the shorts will be coming back to the market because everyone would think that this is just like 2021. I'm already seeing all over Twitter a lot. Let's see what I was mentioning about. Of course, all these posts look exactly the same, posted by different people, exactly what I was telling you about a week ago. These posts appeared just like hot bread fresh out the oven, and the whole Twitter feed is full of them. You can see also here. So no comment on this, we get back to our chart. So this correction was not a surprise for us, and I shall briefly explain these lines right here. This is actually the Q1 start of the year, the yellow lines, and going back to history, I marked all the years and all the Q1s because what I have noticed in past cycles is that when Q1 starts like this, it continues like this. And the other way around. When Q1 starts like this, it continues like this. You can see it in all the years. Starts one way, goes the other after April. Same in the year of the last bear market. It starts one way, it goes another, until this magical white line, at which point we have a major or a minor pivot point. And you can see that I have no social life. This is all the chart in Bitcoin history. And yes, I've never missed a spot. I've analyzed all the cycles. The same story applies within the last days of June. So this white line marks the end of June, all ends of all Junes in all Bitcoin cycles. They represent pivot points. I did this one for myself. You can also look by yourself, but let's take this last cycle. You can see Q1 in one way until April, then from April, downtrend, the exact opposite. And in June 2021, we had the major pivot point and marked a local bottom. Next year, June, local bottom. Next year, June, local top and the boring summer. Last year, local top and the boring summer. Now we approach this June timeframe, and perhaps you would like to hear from me if Bitcoin marks a local bottom or a local top. And my answer is, I do not know. Everyone that says that knows these things will end up posting just squiggly lines like this with no technical analysis whatsoever. These are just freaking lines, meaning exactly nothing. What I like to do when watching Bitcoin is just know this is a major pivot point, but I still lean on the bullish side because of other reasons explained to you in the first two clips. So if you are new here, you know what to do. Subscribe and go see those last two clips. And what I like to do here is just let Bitcoin tell me what the end of June will be, not would be, will be. But what I see all over X is that everyone thinks we will have a boring summer again 3 years in a row. And it also makes me wonder and maybe gives me an extra confidence on why this wouldn't be just a boring summer. We shall see. But as explained in the last clip, I wanted to see something here, no matter how it looks like, because pullbacks are a healthy thing in this market, and something like this with no real pullbacks is not healthy at all. And the next pullback, whenever it might come, would look like something that all these guys were posting. So I want to see a healthy pullback here to then see a continuation. This is the deal with Bitcoin. Let's go to the altcoin charts. But first, let me tell you what and how I operate and how this last cycle made me a multi-millionaire. And it is based off of 4 simple rules. First, I had these 3 rules going from the Bitcoin dominance bottoming out. Go with Bitcoin for the majority of your portfolio. And why is this first rule very important? While I saw a lot of people explaining how Bitcoin is very expensive and it doesn't return much, my brother in Christ, Bitcoin lies still at 7x from the bottom, while still most of the altcoins make new lows. So that is why this first rule must be applied. The second one, go with large caps. XRP, Ethereum, maybe Polkadot, maybe Filecoin, Chainlink, Solana, AVAX, and only choose maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, but no more than 3 large caps. And rule number 3, go with low caps with the smallest part of your portfolio. I was something like 15%, but I consider myself an experienced crypto head. While again, I saw a lot of people unexperienced going 100% in this one right here. Very, very stupid. And perhaps you're wondering, where is the 4th rule? This is actually my 0 rule. A rule to rule them all. It is called cash flow. What is this stupid rule? And why is it the most important? Because you are operating in a market where 80 to 90% we go on the lateral or we go down. In 10 to 20% of the time, we go up. That means you have a lot of time to accumulate. Either you're doing trading, either you work at Starbucks, you have to have a cash flow. And what this set of rules helped me do, because I wanted to be free and I didn't want to be an entrepreneur anymore, this set of rules helped me because I chose Bitcoin for the majority of my portfolio, now at these prices, and in the winter and also last year, just sell some of my Bitcoin just to add on my shitcoin position. Because as explained in the past clips, the trigger for the cycle end is the Bitcoin dominance falling off a cliff very, very fast. That is the signal. This was the signal. Back in 2017, this was the signal, dropping something like half from 71% back to 35%. Same here. This will happen very, very fast because what goes around comes around. And because I respected this, I now make my own cash flow in the space also to further respect these rules. And it is not the case right now. This is for the cycle reset. And my base case is that cycle reset comes again next year. So until then, we should have something like this on the table. Maybe it starts this summer, maybe it starts in September, I don't know. But if you are still here in the crypto space, this is all that matters. The negative percentage on your portfolio does not matter until this happens. And what it should look like, in my opinion, my next target zone for the Bitcoin dominance, it doesn't matter if we go something like 69%, I do not think so, but the higher it goes, the better for altcoins when the drop starts. And my major zone for the Bitcoin dominance is this one, between the 0.618 Fibonacci and 0.786 Fibonacci zone. And I am guessing that by the time you got here, people who are still here and held for 3 years will make money in the market, but also give it back very fast. I'm guessing that in this area right here, let's put out the fib. Some altcoin charts will look amazing and people will scream new paradigm. Maybe XRP becomes the new Bitcoin because the price will be like $9. And from here, I'm guessing everyone will draw something like, this one. Bitcoin dominance goes to new lows. It's a new paradigm. Bitcoin is a shit technology. The X coin will be better. So this is the first target I want to see. And during this time, altcoins will literally go nuts whenever this starts to happen, because timing in this space is like baking a volatile cake and putting a timer on it. It will happen when it happens. My guess is that it will happen before January 26. And you know why? Because all cycles end the same way, in peak euphoria and low caps going berserk. It happens also in the stock market. You can just fact check me and see in the S&P index which of those 500 companies performed better. And of course, you already know the answer. The answer is only the Magnificent Seven. What about the others? Same question in the crypto space. What about the others? The others are always, but always lagging. They underperform and they underperform, and you just sit for 3 years doing nothing while the big caps overperform. And then in the span of, let's see, this drop right here, in the span of 2 months, let's see 2017 and cycle end, in the span of 37 to max 2 months. So this happens very, very fast and nobody prepares for it. So when this happens, remember this clip from YouTube. And now my bags are not 80% Bitcoin, they are only 40% Bitcoin and 60% altcoins right here. And during this road for almost 3 years, you have coins like Litecoin, for example, not doing much, just a big accumulation zone to the upside. As you see it, you have another example like Solana, which overperformed, but also Solana is still 40% below the top from 21. That's why we go all in Bitcoin when cycle resets. So some of them got some gains on the table, but others did something like what LTC did. Or if you follow me on Twitter for at least 1 to 2 years, there are also some projects that I've spoken about in 23, like Velo, which did good for me. Or recently, at the end of 25, I got interested in this chart. This is Zebek network, and it got into price discovery. I made some mentions into our Discord. First one in February this year, and second one right now because I saw the chart going berserk and into price discovery, and I also watched the RSI and also the MACD. I put on my fibs, and I got my first selling target, put on some orders, sold off like 30%, and explained to the members how I'm looking at these charts, because I really think this is what comes for altcoins. And when this comes, two things are going to happen. Those who have the coins will either sell it too early and then buy it higher, or they will do it making a plan, cashing out big profits as the Bitcoin dominance drops, and then when we get to the targets, they will use all the profits to buy other shitcoins, but the cycle is over. That's how people lose money in this market. I saw it last cycle when everyone was doing the same. When the dominance fell and it did something like this, all of them would post that we go something like this into year end, because that's what happened in 2017 into year end. And they compared 21, or the last quarter of 21, with the last quarter of 2017. And of course, everyone was wrecked. All of those who made money in this placed bets again on the altcoins, and the cycle here was over. And to be transparent with you guys, I did the same thing, but I got out something like 30% and do not reinvest it. That's why when the cycle was resetted, I completely changed my plan. And now when this happens, I want to be 80% out of the market. I'm already 20% out, and I'm building this until this comes. And when my first targets are met, this would happen for me, and ready for the next cycle. This is the set of rules that I planted for myself for almost 3 years. Of course, I adapted, because the market never gives you something you knew back in the last cycle. The market will never give you this, because this happened last cycle. That's why I'm telling you the dominance part. It never gives you what you want when you want it, just because you saw it one cycle before. It gives this when no one is expecting. What is everyone expecting now? You can see it through all the major accounts on Twitter and maybe on YouTube. I don't watch anybody, I just put on my charts and do my own thing. But again, I'm here to tell you that this comes when no one else is expecting it. And when this comes, be ready. The purpose in the market is to make money. And going back to my Zebek network chart, I plan to sell more if it goes higher, and from here on just leave a 20% bag. This is what they call a moon bag. I already made something like 35k with this one. This was my first target area. This is my next one, and whatever comes next from here, I will check the oscillators. I would leave a 20% moon bag if maybe this project reaches the top 50 maybe. In this area right here, I would already have made something like 50k. I wouldn't mind leave 10k just to see if this project becomes a new monster and it does an extra 500%, or maybe everyone calls me stupid because I sold at less than 1 cent and this goes to something like dollars. Just a quick exercise. My 20% moon bag, which would mean something like 10k, would do an extra 1300%, which means something like 130k. You do the math, because this could happen, but I'm not betting on it. After I'd made my money with this project, the extra 20% just stays there, and I would not look at it unless I get the signal from the Bitcoin dominance. Then I will check what the price is for Zebek network and start selling what I have left at whatever price is given to me by the market. We'll say thank you, we'll add it to my big bag of profits, and we'll wait for the cycle reset. So basically the lesson in this YouTube clip of mine, if you want to call it a lesson, from major accumulation zones, this is a newer project. This accumulation zone lasted, I think, very shortly, but this is what is coming next, in my opinion, for the majority of the altcoins. And you can see it on the charts. Even if the charts do not look the same, this is basically the same schematics. This is an accumulation going easy to the upside. Chainlink had something like Zebek network. You can see it here, not to the upside, not to the downside, just lateral movement, just a channel. If we go see, for example, the Eagle chart, this is an accumulation to the downside. If we go to the XRP chart, this is an accumulation to the upside. And you see it also on the XRP chart. This is going to come. This is the fate to most of the projects when the Bitcoin dominance starts to give the signal. And if you chose to be 100% in altcoins, remember this in the next cycle. Do not repeat this. But now play the hand you are dealt. Just wait, get your profits out, play the next cycle better. Because I will be here through all of it. This cycle, next cycle, 2040, World War III. I'm just kidding, maybe not. The purpose in the market is to make money and get your money out. Because even if something like this happens and you sell too early and you do the math and you say, oh, if I haven't sold here, my portfolio would mean X amount much. This is plain stupid and you're not ever making money in any market. If you are a little conservative and you leave some moonbags, I promise you the market will be very friendly to you. I'm doing more in-depth videos and market updates, and also on a Discord channel for the members, and if you want to become one, you have the website in the description. We also have an offer just for today. And if you are wondering right now, oh, a paid service, come on man. Well, let me tell you first what this isn't. This is not an alpha group. This is not a group where I share low caps and then dump on all of you. This is not a group in which I share my affiliate accounts with all major exchanges. This is just a group where I post my market updates, how I think about the market, how I do my investments, which are the meat of my thought process. This is actually a discussion with the members last night, and it sounds like a little because an update has something like half an hour, maybe an hour, but I actually do this for 8 to 12 hours every day for myself. And then I do the market update in the shape of a resume to get my conclusions as clear as possible to the members. And just one thing to complete this, I would never recommend paying for a service if you never made money in this market in the first place. This is basically a recommendation for everyone in any domain. Do not pay for a service unless you are profitable first. Either you have a business or maybe you're a freelancer, unless you already made money in that domain and want to scale up, want to learn new tricks from other people, and you want to pay for someone else's experience, you do it with this rule alone. I know what you're probably thinking, this guy has a lot of rules. Yep, that's how I made my money in 8 years of business experience and 4 years of market experience. So I'm not recommending to anyone to join the members unless this happened first. Because again, I have another rule that goes like this. My information is free because you can see these YouTube clips for free. You can see my Twitter activity for free. I'm also posting things for people to learn more, make more money, be more educated. So my information is free, but my work and constant tag along with the crew is not. So information is free, work shouldn't be. That's it for today, guys. See you in the next one whenever it comes. Have a great day, be patient, and hope you learned something new.